はい、どうも皆さんこんにちは、ライクです。本日もですね、こちら、シャーロック・ホームズやっていきたいと思います。
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold.
行こう。アビーの SK 行こう。さあ、行くよ、ワンちゃん。前回の続きですね。着いた。
Search, Toby.
Search, Toby. なにこれ？自分でこれ操作するんだ。ワン。あげろ。こっちだな。私にはわかるぞ。そこの小屋だな。私にはわかるぞ。ゲーム的な面で。
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
持ち出して、これだと戻っていくな。流れた。見えた。私には見える。私には見える。で、ここの糸に行ったと。
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
で、その井戸からこっちに流れてって、そっから脱出ってことか。
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
とても不思議だわ。それじゃあまず小屋から調べていくか。何があるってんだいこれ。
This hook might be useful. Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved.
あとはこれ
Small
か、道具
gardening
箱。
tools. Nothing of great interest. This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty.
で、あとはこっちか。井戸。
There's something
なんかあるね。
glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
こういうことか。使う。
Silverware.
おお。
This is hardly a coincidence. The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
一瞬脳みそかと思ったわ。真面目に。まあ多分これは見せかけだね、強盗に。初心者の方も背が高くて力がある。繊維を見つける。 だって強盗だったらだって隠すもんな。隠すっていうか、いや強盗だったら持ってくじゃん。でも俺だったらあれだな、せっかく金手に入れたらそれ溶かして売るな。さあそうか。1893 1893のこれか、ジブラルタルコ。ほう。アデレート、サウサンプトン、ロンドン航路の、バラ積み貨物船が、インド、ニュージーランド、そうそう、オーストラリアを経由した、6ヶ月に戻ってきた。ほう。客船の中には、フレイザーの、女相続人であり、オーストラリアの土地と、鈴鉱山を所有メリーアリー・フレイザーを女王を英国に連れてきた。噂によると、こちらの若き、美しい女性ともというふうな方。なるほど。
Here it is.
これだ、見つけた。
The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
また使うかい。また使うかい。また使うかい。
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893 and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
3時間後。
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
ほうほう。で、どこに置いたの？
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
11月7日。
This list shows the senior officer. I do not think that this sailor has...
これは違う。11月7日ロンドンにいたやつだから、1893の11月7日、1893。1894か。94。じゃあこれか。
I do not think that this officer is still at
これか。
sea. Therefore, he cannot be involved.
ネス
This
ジェ
officer
ウ
is still at sea. Therefore, he cannot be involved.
で、あとはこっちか。
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
そういうことか。到着じゃなくて出発もあるのか。これじゃね。これだとジャック・クロ開いた。
Mr. Jack Crocker. was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days. This list shows the...
で、あとは、
Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
あとは、ハーバード・ウィットとか、あ、これか。
This officer is still at sea,
関係がし
therefore
て
he
いない。
cannot be involved.
あと、臨時
This
とも
officer
そう
is
か。
still at sea,
これも関係ないよね。
therefore he cannot be involved.
あとは、チャールズ・チル氏。チルあったいた。
This
船長だ。
officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime. Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
ロンドンに到着と。となるとこれだな。とりあえずまずは会話で食器棚、銀の食器類をまず問いただしよう。問い
This
ただそう。
Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
クロッカーを訪問。の前に
I
か。
can't leave yet.
あ
I must talk to Captain Crocker first.
ウィンギンズ。
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
しばらくして。
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
ブラッケンドール夫人。
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her from when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... and what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right, if there was no evidence.
What then?
さあ見てみようか。目だね。誠実さがあると。ほう頑丈な体格と。手だな。手は今のところ何もない。新聞紙のインク。見てたのかな新聞でも。綺麗なブーツ。まあ一応船長だしね。携帯ない。縛り付けたんだな。
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
銀賞、あ、違う。正しい答え選びます。はいはい。
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
これだけなのよ、娘。
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night.
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No, there is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
B こうか。で、まあまあまあ。ロッカーは嘘ついてる彼関係するからほら、大丈夫だ。いやー、まあまあまあまあ。嘘をついてるでしょ。あれ関係持ってたんでしょ。ならもう。あ、いや、やつが犯人でいいよ。逮捕する方面。警察、これはまあこっちじゃない。方面してやろう。しょうがない。方面してや
Wiggins,
ろ
could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
う。1時間も経たないうちに。
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
ダメよ。はあ。悪い、その字俺が
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations. See here, Captain Crocker, we'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night. Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
言うたつがやるこれ男から女性を守った。真実は秘密にすることを決めた。結論を受け入れよう。はい。これ多分多いんじゃないの？同じように判断した人は。ああ。道徳判断やっぱ60、半分以上の人は同じ決断をしてるんだ。旧植物園の一件。なんか今回の事件はなんかあっさり終わったな。いや、前回のやつが長かったのか。お風呂の話が。オッケー。
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
さあ、それじゃあ、今回はまあ時間の切りがちょうどいいんで、この辺で終わりして、次回は、植物園に向かいたいと思います。8、マジで多すぎ。ということで、終わりたいと思います。おつ。じゃあねー。